Hey, drop. Yeah, hey, drop.
Welcome to another episode of the Audible Sports Breakdown, given to you by yours truly, the God of Dots. Yes. Hope everybody's had a good day. It's early in the week, but I hope everybody's had a good start to their week. I know that I have. Before I kind of get into how you doing, Miss Murph? Before I kind of get into tonight's show, it won't be a long show. Housekeeping. Probably be premiering the football content probably starting this weekend. I got to start doing. I've already got it like tighten up on the script. I've already got it the video edited down for the first video that'll be coming out in regards to that. And also, I will be taking a short break from doing this. You know, with the season being over, the draft is only about a week. I want to say it's a week, 8 days, something like that. About a week away, maybe a little over a week. We'll be back with the draft preview. I'll probably do a live stream doing a draft preview. I'll also be doing a live stream doing the draft recap. We're going to touch on the draft tonight. But first of all, I want to say congratulations goes out to the Denver Nuggets, who closed out last night's game. Congratulations to them for closing the deal. Congratulations. Very good ending to the game. It wasn't the prettiest game because it was a lot of bricks. With the exception of Jokic. I want to say the stats came out. Everybody else shot 35% from the floor, so it wasn't eye-pleasing, but the last 4 to 5 minutes was very good basketball being played. Guys elevated their game. Some guys came up short, but Denver ended up prevailing last night, completing the gentleman's sweep. Ending off the series like a lot of us thought it would. I don't think anybody had it going. Anybody that I know had it going 6. Damn sure didn't have anybody having the series going 7. Gentleman's sweep might put up a good effort, but last night was just a further illustration that you got to have some talent. I'm not saying you got to go out and create super teams. I think with the way the new CBA is kind of set up, it kind of restricts that. So teams are going to have to really focus on yes, it's all over now. Yeah, it's over, Miss VS. I'll be taking a short break from still doing a live streams because I want to kind of finish up doing some of these videos I've been working on. I mean, if y'all are interested, I can kind of give you a preview of kind of what I've been working on a little bit later in the show. As far as like the first upload, because like I said, we're going to be diving in NFL. But back to last night's game. Man, like I said, Miami put up a good effort, man. But at the end of the day, you need talent. Spoelstra, he got everything he could out of the team that he had. And when you really look at Miami, and I'm just saying, look at them on paper. They don't. They were a playing team for a reason. Was a playing team for a reason. Is probably one of the worst offenses throughout the regular season. Pretty good defensively, play smart ball, but this was not. Miami was not a sexy pick going into the season. Miami was not a dark horse pick going into the season. They was a borderline, 7-8 seed, and that's what they ended up being. The 8 seed after barely getting by in the play-in. But at the end of the day, you need talent. Now, reason why I'm going to be coming back doing a live stream before the draft, reports have come out. Dame has expressed interest in going to the Miami Heat. Is Miami going to be able to pull it off? I've heard a couple scenarios. Of course, Tyler Hero, I think, was going to have to be part of that trade package. Say the trade may come as early as next week when the draft happens. At that time, Miami will have 3 first-round picks to possibly convey to Portland. If I'm Miami, if I can get away with giving away Tyler Hero, maybe throw Caleb Martin in that deal if I can get that done, and maybe just 2 first-round picks for Dame, I'm doing it. Miami, I like Spo. He's a hell of a coach. I like Jimmy. I like Bam. I like the team makeup. I like the culture that they have in Miami, but you got to have talent. You got to have talent. You want to compete in this league, you got to have talent. Much has been made about Denver, how they, have the continuity and, guys that, grew up in the system. But at the end of the day, those guys are talented. Jokic is a 2-time MVP. Jamal Murray, when healthy, is an all-star level point guard. Michael Porter Jr. is on the rise. Aaron Gordon, at parts of his career has been a borderline all-star. So this team has talent. KCP has won a championship now with Denver, but has also won a championship with the Lakers. So, it's not like Denver was a no-name team. I just think Denver didn't get the notoriety because they don't draw attention to themselves. And that starts with, the big man on the court. Yoke just goes out there and play. He's not concerned about who gets the points. He just wants to win. And when you have your leader setting the tone for the rest of the team, it's kind of hard for guys to be out there complaining about getting touches, getting shots when you got a 2-time MVP. He only shot the ball 16 times last night. 12 for 16. Only shot the ball 16 times. Most NBA superstars, the closeout game, big money game like that, they're putting up 20, 25 shots easy. A beautiful part about watching Yoke play. Yoke have also, like, I watched last night's game. It never dawned on me that he was shooting as well as he was shooting, considering all the bricks that were being laid around by his teammates and the Miami Heat. Yoke just goes about his business. It gives me he's not the same kind of player as Tim Duncan, but it gives me Tim Duncan vibes. Tim Duncan wasn't ball dominant. Just has a very positive effect on not only the game, but also on how his teammates play. You got to feel, playing with a guy like Yoke, you got to feel good as a player, knowing that even though this guy's MVP, he can literally come down and demand them all whenever he wants. It's not too many guys that can compete with him as far as stopping him from getting to the spots he wants to get to. But you got guys that understand that, hey, it's not just give the ball to him and we stand around and watch. Too often in the past couple of years, when you watch some NBA teams play, especially when they have superstar players such as the KDs or Devin Bookers or LeBron James, at times guys tend to kind of be in awe and they become spectators out on the court. They stop moving, they stop cutting. When you watch Denver play, everybody's moving, everybody's got their head up, because you never know, when you're going to get an opportunity to score. You never know when you're going to get an opportunity to score. And with Yoke, how he plays, Yoke is more than fine with having 3 points in the first quarter and having 5 or 6 assists. He doesn't care. As long as he's winning, as long as he's playing winning basketball, that's all he cares about. And as a teammate, that's got to be refreshing to play with. Like, hey, if I get open, Yoke or Jamal Murray, are going to look for me, and they're going to find me to have confidence in me to shoot the ball. Michael Porter Jr. for me last night was the X factor. We've been kind of waiting for him to kind of come out of his shell. Last couple games, he's been a no-show. He was there, but he wasn't there. But last night he kind of came through. Big double from him. They needed it. It was a nip and tuck game. If you missed it, highlights are up on the channel. But like I said, Denver was just the more talented team. Now, the question of the day, and I've been hearing this mainly from one of my main supporters on the channel, Gator Girl. The Nuggets dynasty is about to start. Are the Nuggets a dynasty? I'm not ready to jump out of that window yet. Pump your brakes, because going into next season, can anyone clearly say that Denver is the favorite to come out of the West? I mean, there wasn't a favorite to come out of the West this season. I mean, a lot of people had picked Phoenix as the best team in the West going into the playoffs. And considering the fact that they had KD, had Book, they thought that the offensive firepower was going to be too much. I wasn't that sold on Phoenix as being the top team. I've been saying that if you've been watching, you've been listening to my show, I've been saying it. Okay, this season more than any other season is wide open. There's no one dominant team. There's no team you can say, you know what, they blow everybody off the floor. And Denver, caught fire at the right time. They struggled coming down the stretch. It wasn't like they was a dominant number one seed in the Western Conference. Considering that the other teams had issues coming down the stretch as far as injuries, off the court behavior, when we're talking about like the Memphis Grizzlies. But Denver came together at the right time, put it together. If you run the playoffs back, everybody's healthy. Does it end off with Miami and Denver in the finals? I don't think so. But Denver is going into next season as defending champions, and I'm not going to take that away from them. They are the defending champions. But dynasty, I think dynasty. I think Golden State Warriors. I think of a team that they're not winning the championship, they're in the finals. I think this postseason was the first one up under Steve Kerr where they didn't make the finals. That's what I consider dynasty. To even get into the dynasty conversation for me, and this is just for me, you got to win at least 3 championships. You win 3 championships, then you get into that conversation and say, yo, this is a dynasty. That's for me that qualifies a team as a dynasty, because the Houston Rockets back in the mid 90s, when Jordan took a break, won back-to-back championships, so nobody was looking at Houston as a dynasty. There's the fortunate recipient of Jordan taking a break and giving the rest of the league a chance to breathe and go for the ring. But nobody would say Houston was a dynasty. I think dynasty, 2000 Lakers dynasty. To be in that category, like I said, you got to win. For me, you got to win at least 3 championships to say, I was part of a dynasty. Now Denver's got 1. Like I said, they're not heavy favorites going into next year. I think if you ask most people, we're going to see how free agency kind of reshapes the landscape. Miami may be a much better team. They may be a top 2 team in the East. What's Kawhi status going to be going forward for next season? Because, when healthy, the Clippers are one of the best teams in the West. But what is a full off season of KD and Book? What does that look like? In Phoenix, Lake Show came on late. Pieces kind of gel together. Do they bring all those guys back, or do they kind of do a little tweaking? So I think the West, my Denver is going to be a favorite. I'm going to say they're going to be a favorite. What's going on, Keeper? My should have been husband on the screen. But yeah, Denver's going to be one of the favorites going into next year. I'm not sure, if they're going to be the prohibitive favorite. I think Golden State's going to be back in the mix, considering we're going to see what kind of moves they make as far as their roster. So I think we're going to be set up for another wild NBA season next year, where it's no clear-cut favorite. There's no dominant teams in the league. Even Milwaukee, it was probably the betting favorite that was going into the playoffs this year. One injury here, one injury there. It's a completely different team. What do they look like after firing their head coach? I mean, it's a lot of questions. Hopefully we'll get a lot of answers this offseason. Like I said, I'll be, breaking down the draft, doing the pre-draft. We already know who's kind of going number 1. We know Wemby's going number 1. The rest of the draft gets kind of intriguing when you consider like some of these picks may be on the move. Some of these guys may be on the move. Some of these mock drafts that I've been seeing, the top 3 have kind of stayed the same. It's a little, kerfuffle between who's going number 2 and number 3, but The rest of the draft is kind of wide open. I think as teams get closer, um, I don't think you're gonna see that many trades, but I think if you're gonna see trades on draft night, I think they're gonna be some of the larger variety because teams are trying to figure out a way to work within the new CBA. The days of this spinning are over. And it makes it more exciting for me as a basketball fan because it creates more parity. One thing about the NBA that separates it from the NFL is the parity. Any given season in the NFL, a team out of nowhere can win a championship, and they don't have to be the most talented team. They can just be a team that catches a hot streak. When I think of teams like that, I think about the New York Giants. Last two championships with Eli wasn't the best team. Didn't go into the postseason with the number one record. Didn't have home field advantage in all those games, but you get a team that gets hot at the right time at the right part of the season, and they can take off. And you kind of saw that this year with the Miami Heat. Certain things kind of break their way. They end up in the finals. I think they're going to do some retooling. I think Dame Lillard, for me, if I'm a Heat's fan, is the best and only option. I don't think Jaylen. If you hear reports of Jaylen Brown possibly being looked at by the Miami Heat to kind of bring in, I don't think his game. Now I like his mindset, but I don't think his game meshes with what they're trying to do down in Miami. But James Harden has been talked about. Kyrie has been talked about. But from a Heat fan, Dame Lillard is the number one option, the only option available if I'm the Heat. I need a point guard that puts pressure on the defense, can stretch the defense, and also set up other guys. I think if Miami gets Dame Lillard, if they're able to keep some of the pieces, I know Strus is up for free agency. Gabe Vincent is up for free agency. I'm not too keen on bringing any one of those guys back. I mean, they're they're the definition of role players. I mean, I can replace a Gabe Vincent with a veteran point guard. I can replace a Strus. Not that they didn't earn their spots on the team, but I mean they're just guys. They're just guys. So we'll see, but I'm expecting some movement closer to draft. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be like the Wild West where teams are spending a whole lot of money because with the new CBA, how that set up the luxury tax, really penalizing teams for going over the luxury tax, and I think creates more parity. So teams are going to start having to really build more through the draft. Maybe bringing in maybe not the big name free agents, but bringing in mid-level type players to really build a team. And you got to have some patience. I would say that about Denver. Denver had patience. I want to say, Jokic signed up, earn his money. Jamal Murray's up for a contract, but they built through the draft, brought in free agent here, a key trade there. Wasn't too wild spending. None of the guys really jumped off the screen when they got signed or got moved to Denver. It wasn't that, they was patient with Jamal Murray. A lot of teams would have been like, he's down for pretty much it was down for 2 years. Would have moved on from him, would have brought in somebody else to replace him, but they stuck with him. So I think you're going to see a lot of teams, showing a little bit more patience than they have in the past. Like I said, the days of creating the 3 stars, getting the super teams with the way the new CBA is kind of set up, I don't see that happening unless those guys are taking massive pay cuts. And I'm talking massive, and I don't see 3 guys in the NBA wanting to get together on anybody's team and taking, $15-20 million pay cuts to make that happen. What's going on, Jerm? Yeah, Jerm, we got to get together for a straw hat meeting. But and that's kind of like the meat and potatoes of what's been going on. Now, I did want to show this because I am. Let me see if I'm able to do that. Okay, stop screen. Give me a second because I do want to kind of show what I've been working on. Oh, I can't show it because it's not a tab. Okay. Oh well. Yeah, I can't. But I've been working on doing my videos as far as well, let me see. Maybe I am able to do it. No, I'm not. Because it's Chrome. I'm on Chrome. Okay. But I have been, working on putting together my videos for the NFL season coming up. I just need to start doing the voiceovers with the script. Um, got the visuals, got the information that I need. So I'm gonna be kind of doing that. Possibly first one comes out this weekend. Um, but that's neither here nor there. Let me kind of get in here because I don't get too much participation in the chat all the time. So let me kind of dive in here. Germ says never set the standard for staying with a head coach even through the bad times and seeing the results. Yeah. I don't think enough credit goes out to Denver management for staying with Malone in today's today's NBA guys. You got to think about it. Nick Nurse got fired. Doc Rivers got fired. Good coaches like Monty Williams got fired. Mike Budenholzer just won a championship. What, 2-3 years ago? Got fired. Teams, ownership. Just don't want to have. Just don't have the patience anymore. The days of like Spoelstra is a rarity. Popovich is a rarity. Malone is a rarity. Teams just don't stick with head coaches like that. Through the good times and the bad times. And it's been some rough times in Denver. They've always been competitive. One of the better teams out west, not necessarily the dominant team, but it's been one of the better teams out west. And but yeah, shout out to their ownership for keeping Malone and working with him. Allowing him to stay with the guys he molded. Much is made about Yoke and how awesome a player he is. I remember this guy was a second round pick. He wasn't even a starter coming into the league. I remember he was backup center to Nurkic, who's out in Portland. He was a backup center when he came in. Second round pick. Jamal Murray was a first round pick, but I don't think anybody saw his game being what his game is now. So shout out to them for having patience, for staying with it, because a lot of teams would have moved off Jamal Murray. Considering that he was down for pretty much 2 years. Matter of fact, hold on. I want to show. I want to share this. Am I able to? Will Google let me do this? Let me see. Window. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. Let me kind of work through this. Okay. Nah, just won't let me do it. But anyway, so I'll be doing that. Starting this weekend. First video I'll be rolling out. I want to say the first team I'll be doing a preview on is Kansas City. Like I said, I'm gonna take a break from the lives until the NBA draft comes back around next week. Then after that, I'm gonna be solely focused on getting the football content out. Like I said, I've already got the concept, got the script on how I want to do it. This is kind of like putting together the visuals for it. Will be uploads. I won't be doing any live streams. Probably won't be doing any live streams over here. Not every day like I've been doing. So kind of take a break, man. And those that know, I need a break, man. Can a brother take vacation? Can a brother just enjoy my popcorn from the stands? Let me kind of take a break. So but I am still working. The creative process as far as putting together these videos has been a lot of fun. I would say that it's been a lot of fun. I hope everybody enjoys the videos that I'm kind of putting together. It's getting easier, and but it's fun all the same. It's still fun all the same. And I think you guys will be satisfied with the product and the progression as far as the content. Now, since I'm not in the other realm, I'm not going to talk about that. Germ, since you're here and you're listening, um, you got a 5 week break. Oda has given you a 5 week break to kind of get it together as far as the straw hat stuff. Let's get that together. Um, we need to kind of get together and chop that up. So been a lot going on with that, so I really want to get together and do what we do. It's been a minute. Yeah, I mean, if you've been checking it out, you see the numbers with that stuff. Is this is the kind of time to kind of jump in, kind of get your feet wet with it. And this is my, this is my opinion. Kind of get your feet wet with it. Kind of let's get that channel going with that content, because even with the clips, man, people are doing crazy numbers with it. And I think you would have a unique perspective, because not too many. Yes, Miss VS, we kind of building. Not too many brothers are like really heavy into that on YouTube that I've seen. So like we got a 5 week. Okay, hold on. Okay, I mean, okay, keep it. You just kind of threw me off of that. But do you think going live would be more beneficial as far as growing the channel? Sport heads like to engage, share their thoughts and opinions. What I plan to do, I mean, because for right now, and reason why I say I want to kind of take a break as far as doing the lives, I will be doing lives before the draft, after the draft, any kind of big NBA free agency moves. I will kind of like set up a live 20-30 minutes and kind of talk about what's going on with that. With this period right now, for me as a sports fan, it's kind of like my downtime. Like I've been up since last August. We're talking about doing the NFL stuff, doing picks for the games, and the NBA season and all of that. So right now it's just kind of like a downtime for me. And I only have I'm only going to take maybe I'm not going to schedule lives every day, but as far as what you said, lives are good as far as kind of getting your feet wet and helps. It has helped me. I would say this, my experience with doing lives has helped me with getting my scripts together for my uploads. I would say that makes it a lot easier because I know how my shows kind of go. I know I have like the theme and the idea in my head of how I want to target, take my show. But a lot of times, it kind of, for the most part, over here, I would say over here, it kind of goes how I plan it to. In the other realm, not so much. But live streams are a good tool to kind of grow your channel and really engage with people. I found that I've really kind of gotten into shorts, doing uploads of highlights and stuff like that. So I want to kind of get into that aspect of it and kind of pull back temporarily until like the season kind of starts, and then I'll be back to doing my show, doing the show like I normally do it, because I can give you highlight videos and all that, but it's it's a lot more engagement when I'm able to kind of talk about my thoughts on the highlights that you watch or the games that you watch. So yeah, and I want to plan for those that are like interested. I've been thinking about doing a show as far as for people that want to get into doing lives and doing shows and kind of showing them the tricks of the trade, some of the stuff that I have, some of the stuff that I've learned, as far as putting together video clips, backgrounds, all of that kind of stuff. I think I showed Ms. VS a peek at my soundboard that I kind of use in the background sometimes on my show. So kind of thinking of putting that together. But as far as like the sports content, like I said, it's breaky break time. Brother, it's the summer, man. God damn. I'm not one of them guys that's gonna be on here all day every day, but um yeah, you want to go live more, but currently between working and taking the class and can't find the time. Well, here's the thing, Keeper. Um, and I would say this about we're going live, and I learned this by watching other people. You find a comfortable spot that works for you. You can't, and when I say works for you, that works for you as far as your work schedule, whatever else you got going on outside of doing content. Find a comfortable spot. And it don't matter what day of the week it is or what time it is. Trust me, if you kind of set times to do your shows, people will come. People will come. Now, Miss VS, and I support her and her channel, and I've watched her grow. Her stuff. Sometimes she catches me, and I'm in the middle of a work day, and I can't really chime in to the chat and really engage with the chat as far as her lives. But she has her lives kind of set up to where it's comfortable for her. And at the end of the day, as a content creator, you got to do what's comfortable for you. It's for me, it's no peak time. I've kind of like designated, and you've been following, so I kind of designate certain days and certain times to do shows. I think I'm like I said, find what works for you, and don't be overly concerned about if you want to go live twice a month, with the exception of me being over here. With the exception of me being over here, y'all know over there, I'm not doing lives all the time. I mean, I enjoy doing my stuff over here, spending a lot more time over here, um, expressing my creativity a lot more over here. But over there, I mean, I'm pretty much down to maybe a day a week over there. So I would say find a time that kind of works for you, a day that kind of works for you, whatever your schedule is, and kind of set kind of have a template of how long you want your show to go. How long you want your show to go. For me, with the sports stuff, I try to keep it for the most part like 30 minutes. Try to treat it like I'm doing a broadcast show. I just don't want to be up here for hours on hours and keep reiterating the same point. Yeah, Jimmy Butler is a scrub. Like, no. I try to get 30 minutes, get in, kind of get out, get the major news as far as the sports, and get out. Even when I'm in the other quote unquote other realm, I'm doing I try to keep it short, try to keep it 2 hours, 2.5 at the most. I'm not trying to be up there all day. I don't see how other people do it. I just try to get my material out, engage, and then I'm out. I only can dedicate so much time to doing live because I'm just like everybody else. I got work to do. I got a personal life. I got stuff I like to do. It's summertime. It's time to get out. But yeah, I mean, but as far like say keeper, yeah, Miss VS says right there when whether upload when you can do at any time, but premieres or live streams has to work for your schedule. And trust me, once you kind of get into a groove, like if you say I can only go live Wednesday night from 10 to 11, and trust me, if you say that, okay, well, that's my only open time, that's the time I want to do it. Wednesday from 10 to 11 is the safe keep show or whatever you call your live streams. Make it try to be consistent with, okay, Wednesday is kind of like my my designated time to do that show. Like for me, I've made in the other realm, I made Fridays at a certain time my personal time. Like, okay, boom, this is the time I've set aside to do this particular content. Even over here, I'm either going live at 8 or 8:30, and I'm trying to be out of here like 20 30 minutes, give enough time, do a thumbnail, set up the live stream, kind of have my talking points, which is easy. Because I'm talking about something that I watch or something that I've seen, so it doesn't take too much research. But yeah, get into this whatever your schedule, even if it's like if you can only sneak it in, on a Sunday night at 11 o'clock, 11 to whatever. If you're gonna do a live stream, do it, and get consistent with setting the time. 'Cause trust me, people will start coming. I think what hurts certain content creators is like when you go live and you're so random with it. Um, I think it helps, and Miss VS can attest to this. It helps when you kind of have set certain time periods or time slots for for you to do your shows, your content, and that way I know, boom, on Tuesday at such and such time, like Miss VS goes live. A lot of times she catches me when I'm at work, and I'm like, I can't really get into it. I have to catch it on the replay, but she has her schedule based on what works for her, and it may not work for me as a viewer. I mean, but she can't be concerned about that because this is I can't keep my I can't put out content based on when you are available. I got to do it when I'm available because at the end of the day, I'm the creator. When I cut this microphone on, I go live. I'm the creator. A lot of times, and they'll people that come over here, they tell you it's not a large crowd. It's I think the most people I've ever had in a live stream is like 5, maybe 6. But for me, okay, I've set aside the time to do this content. I'm gonna do it. If anybody catches, they catch. If they don't, I can't be overly concerned about that. I can't be like, well, I got to go live when you. Trust me, the audience. You putting out content on a consistent basis, the audience will come to you. They'll know how to find you. They'll know, boom, boom. Keeper goes live on Sundays at 11 o'clock. And it gets to the point where people know when you're going live. A lot of times, I don't tell people, set your notifications and they know Friday at a certain time I'm typically going live. It's very rare when I miss, my kind of quote unquote designated time to do shows over there. And even over here, I let it be known, hey, boom, 8:30 at the latest, I'm doing a show. And I'm in here 25-30 minutes and then I'm out. So if you're serious about doing it, find a time that works for you. And start small. Start small. If you can only give the people 30-45 minutes, then give them 30-45 minutes. Whatever day or whatever time you free, trust me, you'll have replay value, especially if you talk about some halfway decent stuff. Some halfway, I agree. And get with it being too random, no consistency. Yeah, the randomness it hurts, especially when you're trying to build a dedicated audience. Over here, my audience is what my audience is, but over there, I know because I've been so consistent with that show. I know I'm getting a certain number of views, certain number of people on the average over there. I mean, because I'm consistent. It's not like I'm random. It's not 8 o'clock in the morning and I'm live. Like, no. I may have something to talk about, but like, no, I just save it. Because I built. How come Miss VS like you are a brand? Once you've kind of gotten consistent, I know she does her shows every day, the same days every week, unless something is going on in the personal life. I know I'm getting a VS live on certain days. If I'm not mistaken, is it Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday? I mean, consistent. I mean, it's even in the banner. If you look at her banner, it's in the banner. Like, and if you're gonna say, find a time that works for you. Find a time that works for you, and take some free time. And if you're gonna do lives, get into the StreamYard, get into playing playing with the brands, playing with the banners, playing with all of that. Like, the little video is, I create little videos for my intro and my outro. Like, and you can do that. Like, a lot of people won't tell you, these gifts that I'm using, StreamYard only allows you to have a certain amount. And that reminds me, I need to change my logo because, if you haven't noticed in the chat, the logo has changed. Like, I'm constantly tweaking, constantly doing little things to kind of, fix up the channel. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. But yeah, if you serious about it, find you a time that works for you. Have your talking points, have your topics, and be consistent with it. Be consistent with it. It doesn't take well, no Miss VS. Video length is not 30 seconds. If you're able to, like, for example, the intro that I play for this show is 59 seconds. On my other channel, I've got some videos that are like damn near 2 minutes that StreamYard will let me put up. It's the size of the video file that prohibits you, like, even with the gifts. I want to say you can only do up to 3 megabytes as far as the gifts. So sometimes I'll be like trying to find gifts and I'm like, oh man, I don't feel like compressing it, so I just have to find something else that works. But even with the gifts that I use for my banners, 3 megabytes max. If you try to do more than that, it won't let you do it. But as far as like the videos, it's the video size that StreamYard is concerned about. It's not the length, because they give you the 30-second StreamYard intro for free, but everything else that I've used as far as like my intro videos for like my build, I think that's like a minute and some change. The intro video I use for Front Porch is like a minute and a half. I got some videos that are close to like 2 minutes. It's the actual video size that restricts it. So you can do longer intros. You just your video size just have to be a certain like megabyte or something for it to go up on StreamYard. I mean, your intro is 2 minutes. That's cool. I mean, but if you're able to, you can do longer videos, and I've seen like it's the video size. It's not necessarily length. Like if you watch Slanders Live, he does the countdown timer to his. That's longer than a minute. That's longer than 30 seconds. So yeah. So yeah, have your, keep it. You've been watching. You're an intelligent person, but get in here on StreamYard. You don't even have to set up a live. Just get in here and play with your stuff. Play with the banners. Play with your brand. I'm thinking about adding some different kind of background music when I'm doing shows. I'm trying to find something that kind of works for me and my personality and the content I'm doing over here more than anything. But let me get up out of here, man. I don't went way too long. Just don't turn into a bill. But like I said, it's good to chop it up with the fam from time to time. Like I said, I'll be kind of taking a break. I'm still working on finishing up some of these uploads I got working on as far as like the football content. We'll be back with a live unless something kind of like breaks, like Ja gets suspended or something. You won't see me till about the NBA draft next week, and then but take a little short break. Be focused on putting out the content as far as team by team breakdowns and previews and that kind of stuff that I'm doing for the NFL content. And then once I kind of get that out, we'll be back. Soon as the season kick off, preseason. We'll be right back. I want to say preseason's like August 3rd. Well, but I'll be back, before that. But let me get this content out first. We kind of rebrand and niche down some more, and we'll see. Yeah, don't take too long of a break not to lose your moment. No, I'm not gonna take that long of a break, Miss VS. Like I said, I want to show you. Only thing I got left for this first video is to do the script and do the voiceover. I've already got the visuals kind of down. I've got like I worked on a new logo. I've worked on a kind of like a little intro to all about uploads, so people kind of know who I am, and the like, share, subscribe stuff. So I'm not going to take too long of a break. I'm going to still be doing content. I'm like I said, if it's newsworthy, I'll report on it. But let a brother get a short look. Let me get a short break. Over there in the other realm, I'm thinking of doing a show. I got to reach out to a couple people. I'm thinking about doing a political show. I was gonna do it Sunday. But the missus told me, she's like, that's Father's Day. I was like, yeah, but y'all don't never do nothing for us. But inside joke. But probably doing that on Juneteenth on Monday. So I'm still active. Still I'm still gonna be active, Miss VS. I ain't gonna fall completely off the map. I like what I'm doing over here. I'm enjoying it. It's a lot more refreshing. I would say that a lot less angst and nonsense. So, but yeah, I'm just gonna take a quick couple of days break. Content will be coming out this weekend. Like even when I'm not live, I'm still working. So I plan on doing at least an upload a day that'll kind of carry me as far as content wise, as far as the uploads until like the season starts. It's kind of like how I have it mapped out right now. But yes, I was off. Miss VS, I would say this for those that are in listening ear of my voice. Sometimes I do some of those shows, and it ain't much to talk about, but I know people have gotten into me being consistent, so I try to keep that. But I didn't feel, I didn't feel motivated. I was like, okay, let me take a break. But I came back, gave you a show on Sunday, came back, gave you a show. I want to say gave you a show on Tuesday and gave you another show on Friday. So I made up for it. I mean, but that's fine, Miss V. I don't need time off during the football season. Like with the focus of doing the show. I mean, it's going to be easy for me to kind of come in on a Monday, Monday right before Monday Night Football. Come in, do a recap of the games on Sunday. I'll be having the plan is to be doing uploads of certain highlights and scores and plays of the week, that kind of stuff, to really really niche down with that. So I'll be still doing stuff. Like even when I'm not live, a lot of times, even before I go live, I'm tweaking stuff and working on stuff. I'm getting more familiar with working with certain software, taking tips. I want to start really kind of get into Photoshop to kind of clean up some of the imagery. But I'm working the hell out this Mac I got. I'm working the hell out this Mac I got. So I'm doing stuff. Yeah, I learned I never know who's watching. That was a pleasant surprise. I would say that's a pleasant surprise. I know everybody's not happy with the interaction because it wasn't confrontational, but hey, some interactions don't have to be like that. Some interactions you can just be relaxed. And that's why I like being over here with the I got to come up with a name with the squaddies over here. I like being over here because it's I don't have to worry about the nonsense or folks critiquing. People just come to enjoy the show. And I think a lot of people kind of miss that point when they're doing when you feel like you're doing YouTube content that you don't want to do. I've always said, do what you like to do, even with the Friday stuff. I do just enough for my taste. It's for me, it's never overboard, it's never super extra. Um, yes, I'm growing. That's kind of, if you really look at my channel in the other realm, if you really look at how I started it, to where I am now with it. I was trying to do everything. I was trying to put everything into the pot like gumbo, and it wasn't. It wasn't working. I was doing too much. Too much. Had too much going on. Now that I've kind of separated the parts and really kind of divided it up, it for me it's a lot better. It's a lot better. It's the reason why um I just like, okay, I'm not saying that, keeper. I'm not saying that, but no, for me, it's relaxing to being over here. Very relaxing. It's no extra stuff. It's no back and forth. It's just me talking about sports most of the time, and those that enjoy to listen. Those who share the video, like the videos, comments. I just enjoy it. But if you're going to get into the game, keeper, hey, find the time that works for you. Don't be concerned about what everybody else got going on. Um, get your content out however you want to do it. You don't have to do hours and hours of live streams to kind of grow your audience. I mean, you already have a name to kind of start with. You already have a sort of brand to start with. So find a time that works for you. Slide up in there. If you need assistance with time slots, you know how to reach me. I'm being messy. I'm being messy. But now let me get up out of here for real though, because it still is a Tuesday, brother. Got to go to work in the morning. I appreciate everybody for coming out as always. Miss VS and Miss Merv, I swear to God, the next live that I do over here, I definitely I definitely will have an outro. I definitely will have an outro because this, oh boy, I can't. Let me get up out of here. Y'all have a good evening. Y'all have a safe week. Be on the lookout for the uploads that be coming out. May come out even before then. I may crank it out tomorrow. Just gotta start tying y'all over until the season starts and we get back into the lives like like regular schedule. If all hearts and minds are clear, still no outro, but I'm out.